Hey everybody, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brooks and this is Drag Times. Now before I get to the amazing video of my face getting thoroughly distorted by the fastest and tallest roller coaster in the United States, I want to give you a little background on what I aim to do during this trip. So my son was turning 13 and me and the kids are roller coaster fanatics. We love to travel the country and go on some of the most amazing and aggressive roller coasters there are. There is one roller coaster that we haven't done yet, and that is Kingda Ka. Kingda Ka is at Six Flags Great Adventure outside New Jersey. This roller coaster accelerates from 0 to 128 miles an hour, according to Six Flags, in just 3.5 seconds. And what I wanted to do is compare that against some of the cars that I've been racing over the years. Not only does this roller coaster go 0 to 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, it then uses momentum to throw you up 456 feet straight up in the air, across the top, and then down, spiraling down over a hump. And on the way down, it hits over 100 miles an hour as well. So in order to benchmark this ride, they don't list 0 to 60 times. So I was really curious about how many G's this roller coaster pulls, as well as what the 0 to 60 mile an hour time would be, and then compare it against different cars, and even compare it against what an FA-18 fighter would do off an aircraft carrier using the catapult. So in order to do that, I brought along the Dragy. This small GPS device, which I have reviewed before, is battery powered and very portable, and allows you to record all sorts of performance data. So after doing some research ahead of time about the park and their policies, they are very strict about any loose items being brought into rides. Obviously, if you're going well over 100 miles an hour, you cannot be holding a camera, a phone, or anything, because if that falls out of your hand and flies off, it could really injure somebody and cause damage to the ride. So luckily, I have a lot of experience with racing quarter mile and half mile and securing items up to 200 miles an hour. So what I brought along is some of the gear that I use to record these races to be applicable for getting the benchmarks of this amazing ride. So what I have here is a chest harness right here with the Dragy securely attached to the chest harness. And attached to this, I have one of my special mounts that I use for the half mile races, which are tested up to 200 miles an hour. So this drops down here. You drop in the recording device here, secure this like so, and this allows you to turn on the device before the ride, lock it in place, and be extremely, extremely secure. Now this was way more secure than a lot of people I've saw on the rides. You know, with watches and all jewelry and all sorts of things that could fly off. This thing is not going anywhere. Very, very secure. All right, so here's the device all mounted up and thoroughly secured, ready to go. We got the Dragy down here. We got the recording device and all strapped in, as you can see. Around this, I also have a jacket to secure it even more. So that's the setup I use to get this amazing data and footage that you're about to see riding the Kingda Ka. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna roll the footage now, and then after the video, I'm gonna come back here and review all the performance data, G-forces, 0 to 60, 330 foot times, along with the 8th mile, and compare that against the fastest McLaren 720S that I drove that went 8s in the quarter mile, as well as some very fast Nissan GTRs that are running low 7s, and then compare it against an aircraft carrier catapult launching an FA-18 off the carrier into the air. All right, so I'm here with Kristen from the Communications Department of Six Flags. I rode in and said I was coming, and they rolled out the red carpet, gave us some quick passes on the ride for Kingda Ka. And tell us a little bit about the ride. Any technical details you could share with everybody? We were talking a little about the power. Is it 10,000 horsepower?
Oh, no, that's a really good question.
Okay.
You know, what's interesting about Kingda Ka is that it is the tallest coaster in the world.
Right.
It's the fastest in North America.
So what powers it off? It's kind of like an aircraft carrier, right?
Correct. So this is hydraulically powered. There's a giant building with a humongous winch behind the tower there.
Gotcha.
And it's really pulling the train at an incredible rate of speed to get it up 0 to 128 miles an hour, so it'll let go and then launch you up that tower, 456 feet.
In 3.5 seconds. So I've driven some pretty fast cars, but nothing that comes off the line like this. So super excited to get on there. We were all wondering like what the 0 to 60 time is on that and so forth. Do you have any more stats about that, those kind of numbers?
Gosh, no. I am not a numbers person.
Okay.
I'm a word person.
Gotcha.
But it is super popular and it tops a lot of lists as far as the best steel coasters in the world.
Yeah.
So people come from all over the world to ride it because it does, rank as the tallest coaster in the
Yeah,
world.
so tallest coaster in the world, 450 feet.
456
feet.
Yep.
United States, it's the fastest thing you can get on in the United States. You got to come check it out. Now, one other question. Sometimes this coaster works on momentum, so it launches it out, and it uses momentum to climb up 456 feet. But sometimes it doesn't make it over the top. Maybe because of wind. There could be, maybe it's wet out. I don't know what the case is, but sometimes it doesn't make it over the top. How does that work?
Right. So we call it a rollback, and it's funny because roller coaster enthusiasts all want that rollback. Yes, they wish for the rollback. So the ride is designed where it will just reset itself, it'll come back down, and it'll get right back in that launch spot and relaunch
So
again.
it comes down slowly?
Nope, it'll come back down.
Just no brakes at all?
Right,
just
correct.
slide right back
so just
down.
gravity pulling it back down, and then once it hits the launch area, the brakes will slow it down, and then it'll reset and launch
again. They just keep you on the train, you just do it again? Has it done it twice in a row?
No, it's never done it twice in a row, and it is pretty rare, but it is designed for that. And you're right, a lot of times it will be a gust of wind. It is wind sensitive, and up there you're getting some pretty intense wind, so wind could do it. Each train is actually calculated for weight.
Okay.
So it's going to calculate that weight, and it's going to pull that amount.
So it knows how much weight is in the car when people get on there?
Correct. Yeah. And so sometimes that calculation may be a squidge off, and it just may not have enough momentum. There it goes.
There it goes right now. So you were saying you were here when they opened the park up, and how many times did you go on it that day?
Yeah, so in 2005, I rode it 6 times.
6 times.
6 times before 6 a.m. Wow. So, I mean, that was just the start of my day, but yes, it was quite a lot.
Right, what an awesome ride. So do you know how many times per day, or usually it'll go a whole day without doing the rollback?
Oh yeah, it's actually quite rare.
It's quite rare.
It can go quite a long time, and what's interesting to know is this ride delivers about 1 million rides a year.
1 million rides a year.
1 million rides
at 28 seconds. It only takes 28 seconds to do the whole ride. So down the middle you can see some free, there's a drop ride.
Correct.
So what's that?
Yes, this is Zumanjaro Drop of Doom, and this is actually the world's tallest and fastest drop ride.
Why not combine it with the tallest roller coaster, the tallest drop ride right now? Those I'm not a particular fan of. It just really leaves your stomach up there. You know what I mean? So, but I think since we're here, we got to try it anyways. You've done that a bunch of times?
It's incredible, yes. And I'm not a fan of drop rides either, but the view up there, you can actually see Philadelphia on a clear day.
If you're into Philly, we'll check out Philly. So does it just drop you or does it pull you down?
It drops
Just drops you?
So, yes,
okay,
it's just
a
gravity.
free fall.
You're going about 90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour straight down.
Yes. You feel like you're never stopping too. Like the free fall is so long because it's so tall that it really is an intense feeling.
All right. So thank you very much for having us.
Yeah,
really appreciate the hospitality. And I think we're having a great time. Thank you so much. And how fast do you think this car goes? How fast do you think it goes? 0 to 60. So 0 to 128 miles an hour. They say it goes 3.5 seconds to 128. So to 60 miles an hour, how fast do you think it goes?
I'm going to say 1.1.
1.1 seconds. What do you think?
1.6.
1.6 seconds to 60. So you've been in the Tesla. How fast is the Tesla at 60? The P100D. So in the Tesla P100D, my quickest 0 to 60 is 2.4 seconds. So what do you think it's going to hit 60?
1.75.
All right, Bria says 1.75 seconds. Bryce says 1.1 seconds. And I'm going to go with 1.5 seconds. So the fastest car I've ever been in is the modified 720S. That did 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. And it did quarter mile in 8.9 at 160 miles an hour. Now this only goes 128, so I'm wondering, hopefully we'll get some 100 to 200 kilometer per hour data. We're not going to get 60 to 130 because obviously it doesn't go to 130 miles an hour, but nevertheless, I think we're going to do this. How many times do you want to ride it?
As many as we can.
5 times?
Sure.
All right, so 5 times. What about you?
I'm good with 4.
4 times. All right, I'm super excited to try this out. 1.75, 1.1. I'm guessing 1.5. Let's get in line and do it. All right, that's coming to pick us up. You ready, buddy?
Yeah. Oh God. You sure?
I already did it once.
Oh, you already did it last time?
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh God.
So the thing slides back in here and comes to pick you up. I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Here we go, here we go. Hold on, Bria. That was crazy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that roller coaster, making a thorough mess of my face. It is just an incredible ride. I mean, the G-forces and the acceleration going straight up, falling straight down. The entire ride is over in 28 seconds. It's over before you know it, but it's just a really amazing experience. So on to the data. 0 to 60 came in at 1.65 seconds, and that is without rollout. So if we're going to compare that against other cars that I've driven and other benchmarks and other magazines and also and other publications, they always use this rollout. So to make it a fair comparison, we add in the rollout that comes from the Dragy device, and 0 to 60 came in at just 1.41 seconds. Pretty amazing. Now, what can you compare that against? Well, the 8th mile is something we can look at as well. 8th mile came in at 5.2 seconds at 117 miles an hour. But what we have to consider here is that the ride was already slowing down. It hit a top speed, as you can see in the video, of 121 miles an hour. But as you can see by the 8th mile trap at 117 miles an hour, it was already slowing down by the time it hit the 8th mile. So to try and compare it against other cars, we have to back up a little bit and look at the 330-foot time, which was 3.39 seconds. Now I looked through the drag times database, which has upwards of 25,000 time slips, and tried to get a good launching car that comes off the line really strong, which would be a Nissan GTR, highly modified, couple thousand horsepower, comes off really, really strong. So what I was able to find was a low 7-second GTR that pulled a, let's see, the low 7-second GTR pulled a 3.27 330-foot time, and the Kingda Ka did 3.39. So it's right in line with a low 7-second GTR. That GTR continued to do the quarter mile in 7.2 seconds at almost 200 miles an hour. So by riding this ride, you get to feel what it's like to ride in a car that would run low 7s at the quarter mile, but be completely safe. These low 7-second cars sometimes either blow up or go off the track or wreck. So, you know, a lot of people will never get to experience that kind of acceleration, but here you can head out to Six Flags and get that level of acceleration all day long. Now, comparing the Kingda Ka to the fastest car I've ever driven, which is the McLaren 720S done by Wheels Boutique. That car ran 8s in the quarter mile, 8.9 at almost 160 miles an hour. That car did 0 to 60 in just 1.9 seconds. And I can tell you, the Kingda Ka obliterates that off the line. Now, comparing the 60-foot time on, the 330-foot mark on that one, it did 3.9. So this is well ahead of that McLaren 720S. The McLaren in the 8th mile did 5.8 at 125 miles an hour. This did 5.2 at 117 miles an hour. But of course, it already reached its top speed and was actually slowing down at that point. If you look at the numbers in the Dragy video, I think it hit 121 miles an hour in the low 4-second range. So as you saw in the interview with Kristen from Six Flags, she was mentioning how the technology is similar in Kingda Ka launching an aircraft off an aircraft carrier. So I looked up and did some research on what kind of acceleration numbers those put up. So launching an FA-18 fighter jet off an aircraft carrier in the Navy pulls off 0 to 165 miles an hour in just 2 seconds. So that is actually much quicker than Kingda Ka, and I can't imagine what that would feel like. Of course, none of us normal people are going to get to ride in a catapult off an aircraft carrier, so the next best thing is going to be heading out to Six Flags and riding the Kingda Ka. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. Should we test more roller coasters like this? If you've got a roller coaster in mind that you'd like us to test, put it in the comments below. We'll take a look, and when we head out for our next adventure park, we'll go ahead and consider that for one of our stops. I'm gonna close out the video with me and my kids after a long day at the park. They wanted to participate in the outro, so here it goes. How long were we there? 10 to 9?
11 hours.
11 hours?
Yeah. I think I can do a good intro. Alright, do it. What's up, guys? I'm here with my dad and my... no.
Try again.
Okay. Let me do it.
Alright, you do it.
What's up, everybody? It's Bria from Drag Times, and today's video is about the Kingda Ka at... where are we?
Six Flags.
Six Flags!
Great America.
Great America.
Alright, that's good. Solid.
And I'm Bryce from Drag Times.
Alright, everybody. Apparently my kids want to be YouTubers, so I'm giving them a little shot at doing the outro for the video that we did today.
2 years. You'll see me soon.
We were there 9 hours, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We rode every single ride.
9 hours.
What?
So we were there 9 hours. Did you say we were there 9 hours?
How many hours were we there?
11. We just discussed this 9 hours.
If you want to be in the video, you can come over here.
I don't want to be in the video. Come on, Mom. It'll be fun.
Shut up. Sorry.
They're just gonna think it was us three at the park the whole day. What? What?
Alright, so we got... Are you ready for real? Alright, so we just got back from the park. My kids want to be YouTubers, so they're trying to give a little outros here.
No, use my other one.
So we were there 11 hours, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We rode all the rides. Every single 3 ride they had there. What was your favorite ride, Bryce?
I'm gonna have to go with Nitro.
You like the Nitro. Nitro was a really good ride. I like that one too.
Yes, that
What
was
about you,
also
Bria?
that was also my favorite ride.
Nitro was your favorite too?
Yes.
My favorite, of course, was Kingda Ka. I think that ride was just dope. Right, Bryce? Bria, was that ride dope? Alright, never mind. I like the Kingda Ka ride. I like the Kingda Ka ride. That ride was lit. No? Not lit? Not dope?
Wait, why?
Alright, Bryce is just being cringy, so Bria, what do you...
You need to be 18 years or younger to ride this ride, Dad.
0 to 60, as you saw, came in at 1.4 seconds with the rollout. So we're going to go rollout because that's how we compare against the rest of the cars. Bria, you guessed 1.7.
Yeah.
Bryce guessed 1.1.
1-1.
I guessed 1.5. So I think I won the bet on the 0 to 60.
I guess.
You guess?
What do you win?
I don't really win anything, but
Oh.
but I win. So
Yay.
my favorite ride was Kingda Ka. That ride was just dope. I mean, I thought it was really good. What do you think, Bryce? Where are you going,
I
Bryce?
can't say that.
I can't say what?
That.
I can't say dope?
No.
Why not?
That's the worst ever.
Alright, Kingda Ka was lit. Is that better?
No.
No. Alright. So, where are you
Bye.
going? Come back, kids.
Pass.
Goodbye.
Oh well. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. We'll keep the videos coming.